Greetings and salutations, this is Imperator Vespasian and my trusty sidekick, Steve.
Hi.
Yeah. This is a Q&A for...
Hail Caesar.
Hail Caesar.
We'll also be putting the Dark Age ones in here.
I was going to say that. Yeah, we're going to keep all that Hail Caesar stuff, regardless of what period it is, into one Q&A. Otherwise, we're going to get way over complex and my brain will melt.
But it's Hail Caesar.
It's still a Hail Caesar rule system, regardless of what you're fighting. So, this is a new Hail Caesar question. I don't know what number it is. It's probably up there in the teens. So, first question.
Yes, of the day.
Of the day. Who is it from? I do apologise that this is in no way a Viking longbow, but you just have to imagine that this is a Roman shield wall.
We've got a busy day today, so we don't have time to change the scenery.
Yeah, we haven't changed scenery, but that tree is Dark Ages, right? It's been standing since the Dark Ages. It's in China, but it's still been standing, so technically it's crossed the period. So there we are. And let's face it, Chinese scenery hasn't changed since either, so it's just the uniforms.
Just think they're talking to me.
Right, okay.
Right then, John MP4000.
Hi.
You talk to him a lot.
Do I?
Yes.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's me typing. Typey things.
Interesting battle report. I think Hail Caesar works better for Dark Ages than Ancients. I am not still certain about your house rule for shooting into combat, as I think the combat system is dramatic enough without assistance.
Yeah. I've got into this quite a lot online, which you may know about. We basically had lots of ideas when we started doing Hail Caesar. Now, Hail Caesar is great for different armies and stuff. We did sort of not modify it, but sort of move a few rules to do with the shooting. Basically allowing you to throw your ranged attacks in while you're going into combat, just before you go into combat, because that's how it worked. Technically how the rules work at the moment is if, say, the Celtic Warband charged a Roman legion, then the Romans would just get hit by the Celts and they would fight it out. And all you would get is the -1 because the Romans have Pila, so they would save on a 6. The Celts would save on a 6. The Romans would still save on a 4.
Depending on what you're throwing, what you're using.
Yeah, the Celts, the Romans would get 7 attacks. The Celts would get 9 or 13, 9, 10, maybe 11 attacks.
That's what I have.
Yeah. Sorry, what's that mean?
You keep running this house.
The problem with that is the Roman Pila. The Roman Pila was absolutely devastating. The Romans always threw the Pila before combat, before initiating combat. Also, people didn't charge. You never charge into battle. That only happens on Braveheart. In real life, soldiers didn't charge. To charge is to move quickly towards the enemy and then form and then walk slowly into the enemy. You don't run into the enemy, because if you run into the enemy you haven't got a shield wall. You've got a load of guys fighting independently and they will get slaughtered by disciplined troops. So you don't charge, you go forward quickly enough. The Romans never charged anyway.
They wait for the enemy to come. The main tactic is they stand still, the enemy come to them.
Yeah, the same as cavalry. Cavalry never charged. You see the Battle of Waterloo film and you see the Greys charge across the battlefield. They never did that. That didn't happen. They actually walked into Dielon's corps. They just walked in. They never charged. And Dielon's troops ran away and they followed them. And that's how come they got hit in the flank by the rest of the French cavalry.
Lancers.
The Lancers, yeah. So you don't charge. If you charge, your horse gets knackered. Your troops at the front, some run faster than others, and then you haven't got a formed wall when you hit. Yeah, so really it doesn't mimic reality. Secondly, as I mentioned before, they throw the pilum. The pilums you throw two pilums. The first pilum is a light pilum, and it goes about 20 yards, possibly a bit further, and that hits the enemy shields and takes the shields down. The second pilum is a heavy pilum, and that's not targeted at the front rank because they've already lost their shields. You throw it high and it's weighted, so it comes down vertically, and it's a weighted lead shaft which goes straight through any shield held in the air and goes straight through men.
So you got to think of the poor guy.
Yeah. Then after that, you throw the guys in the rear rank start throwing plumbator, which is a dart about that long, and it's got a lead weight at one end, and you throw it in the air. You don't aim it, you just throw it in the air, and it comes down, directly down, like steel rain. And by this time, you haven't got any shields. So, yeah, absolutely devastating. So, the Romans could actually win without actually fighting. They would just slaughter the front ranks. Which is why you have lots and lots of battles where only 100 or so, a few hundred Roman soldiers die, and tens of thousands of the enemy die. Because that's how the Romans fought. They would. It was a complete. Yeah. So, although Hail Caesar's great as a game, it's brilliant. You cannot recreate that sort of thing without rolling all sixes and the enemy rolling all ones. Whereas the Romans did it every time they fought. They didn't need to roll sixes. Their army was just designed to kill. Yeah, so that's why we allow the shooting of javelins and pilum and stuff. Nextly, when you're not Roman, when you're stuff like Jewish rebels or Dacians or Celts, those troops aren't throwing javelins. It says javelins in the rules, but they're not throwing javelins. What they usually are is warriors, tough warriors, running out in front of the shield wall and throwing themselves into the enemy shield to try and open a gap. And they tended to be more or less suicide troops, or showing off, whichever. Certainly for the Celts, showing off would make sense, because Celtic armies, when they fought each other, didn't fight to kill each other. They fought to gain points, in a way. Like the Flower Wars in Mesoamerica. They didn't fight to kill each other, they fought to take prisoners. The Romans fought to kill the enemy. They weren't playing games. If someone came out and challenged someone to single combat, which the Celts would do, the Celts would run out and say, "I challenge that centurion to single combat." The centurion would just ignore them. The Romans didn't play that game. The Romans went to killing people. If they had to fight a war, they tried to avoid fighting wars. But if they had to fight a war, they ended it. They made sure that at the end of it there wouldn't be another war. So, yeah, you have two completely different types of fighting. You've got the showy, shouty Celts who would shout at the top of their voices and make funny noises and charge in and throw themselves at the Romans. And you've got the regular shield wall who would try and hit the Romans. And then you've got the Romans who would be completely quiet in formation. And they would throw their pilums and then walk into the enemy. And then once the enemy was repulsed, they would form a wedge, like a saw blade on its side, like a constant wedge all the way down, and then they would just push into the enemy and feed the enemy into the centre of each wedge to cut them to pieces. Also, Celts and Germans, when they fought, they would fight single man to single man. So you would have one man fighting against that man over there, and if there were other men, they would just watch or form a guard for the guy fighting. The Romans, if they saw someone's back, they stabbed him. The Romans just stabbed you. They weren't playing games. It was completely different types of warfare. If there's a human in front of you, you stick a sword in him. That's how they played. Yeah. Make sense?
You just told them that if you see humans, stab them in the back.
Yeah, the Romans would, yeah.
And that, no,
You slice your legs, you cut your legs open.
Right then, next
put it
question.
on the floor, stab you when you're on the floor
Right.
when you're wounded.
Robert Henderson said, one question. You did a range attack as your amazing, beautiful and very nice sidekick. Not small sidekick.
Small sidekick.
No.
Yeah, small.
Sidekick.
Yeah, sidekick.
Charged, what's that word?
Across. It's supposed to say across.
Charged across the front of his skirmishers Could that be done? As apparently the rules say, transversing attacks can only be done by units with a long-range attack.
Yeah, technically that was a supporting unit that was supporting the unit in combat in that battle. But the same rules as what I just said before would apply anyway, technically. That was a supporting unit which should technically plus 2 dice to combat for that unit, but it was on the flank, so he took the roll separate. That's all we did. Next question? I hope that answers it. I think I answered a more detailed question later.
Well, you know, in your update in the Roman army,
Yeah.
this guy called Style Sushi.
Yeah.
He says that they're great. Very good. Well, very well done.
Thank you very much. Yeah. It's been quite interesting rebasing them all. It's been a pain. I've got to do the Dacians and Celts next, which should be fun. But I've just finished the Jewish army, and we're going to be fielding that in battle pretty soon. We're still fighting a campaign on the Jewish revolt, so you will see some more battles for that when we get around to it. But we do have a lot of games on the go. Next question.
Right, from Robert Henderson.
Hi, Rob.
Again. Here's, hi, love your Hill Caesar bat reps. Well, I say it so that people don't know. Battle reports. I intend to assemble a warlord, early Imperial Roman army, but also considering a Jewish revolt army, and inspired by you. Oh,
thank you. That's awesome.
Can you tell me what make of figures you see for Jewish troops, and how you made your cards for unit details, as that is one brilliant idea. Many thanks.
Yeah. Where did I put the cards? I could show you some cards. Where did I put them? Do you know where I put them?
I think you put them in a folder.
Yeah, I'll put them in a folder. I'll just check. You check. Right, you talk to the nice people. Talk to the nice people.
Hi, how's David going? Yeah, I see on my YouTube channel all the time.
Yeah, he has a YouTube channel as well if you want to go and check it out. He does Minecraft and various other things.
Yes.
Yeah, what else do you do?
Terra Tech, Act Battle Vault soon. If I make it, I might not make it. Hey, Halo, because I think everybody's heard of Halo.
See, I didn't know what these questions were going to be, so I'm still making it up as I go along.
I know what the questions are going to be.
These are the cards we use. These are for Dark Ages, these. We basically make these cards up, if you can see it. And basically...
Let's check if they can.
They have... Yeah,
check.
Feel free. Yeah, this camera is Captain Blurry camera. It really doesn't like filming anything. What are you doing, you strange monkey person?
Whew.
Right. These are the cards.
Focus.
Is it not focusing?
You might have to take pictures and put it on a slideshow.
Oh, I'm not messing around with that. Basically, I've showed you before in games. Is it still in focus now? These cards,
yeah, it's in focus.
These cards are basically quite simple cards, and they just have all the rules you need for that unit on them. They don't have the rules to the game on them, they just have the rules. So this is a Housecarl Spearman unit, and it has all the special rules that Housecarls have. And the rules are heavy infantry, which means you're -1 for ranged attacks, phalanx, long spears, and shield wall. And they're the special rules that they have. So you can instantly refer to the special rules. So that's quite good. I look like I'm having an epileptic fit there. Clash of 7, sustained of 7, so the same as Romans. 3 for short range attack. Oh no, they've got no actual ranged attack, they've only got support. Morale 4+, and stamina 6. So yeah, that's basically a card. And when we choose the armies, we just have these cards as the units we can use. So that's straightforward. That's blathering away. What next?
It's just a photo. Oh God.
Yeah, get over it. What was the other part of the question?
Right. Well, that was the full question.
Yeah, what was the other part of the question? He was starting an army. Oh yeah, the troops.
Oh yeah.
The troops I used for the Jewish rebels are Greek. They're the Greek Peltus troops. If you look at, I think is it Perrin that does the Peltus troops? They do box sets of about 60 figures. They're quite cheap. Given how many Jews we've got, there needed to be. I think we've got about 4 boxes in total. We got 1 box of early Caesarean Roman, Marian Roman, because they're Romans in chainmail, and we use those for the Jewish regular infantry. The imitation legionaries. The Jews used captured Roman equipment and formed units out of using the captured Roman equipment. That's what we use those for. And then we got, I think, 3 boxes of Peltuses, because then you get in those boxes.
This is why we have so much skirmishers.
Well, no, Jewish army was so much skirmishers. I mean, technically, in DBA, you could actually have an army of 1 auxiliary and all the rest of skirmishers. In the original DBA. I know, because I had that army too. You basically have loads of slingers inside the box, and you have bowmen inside the box. So you have all the skirmish troops you've got, and then you just do what you want with them. I gave them all Celtic shields because I do Dacians. I have loads of spared Celtic shields because the Dacian box from Warlord, you get Dacian shields, metal lead Dacian shields, so you have loads of spare Celt shields. And I had a bag full of Celtic shields from all the spare Dacians. So I just used them to make, I used them to put on the Jewish rebels. So it was very handy
now people know that we buy so much.
Well, no, it's just it's a bits box. Every gamer has a bits box full of bits, and I just so happened to have.
And some of it's for my stuff.
Yeah, and I just so happened to have loads of spare shields from the Celts, which I wasn't going to use for anything else. So I thought, stick them on the Jewish rebels, make them look all scruffy and random. I have seen people who have done the Jewish rebel army, and they've done the big oval shield. Now they did use the oval shield in the Maccabee rebellion. But by the Jewish revolt period, the 70 AD, 79 AD, oh, one of those.
70.
Yeah, when Vespasian turned up, they were using sort of any equipment they could buy. There was certainly quite a bit of Greek equipment around, which is why I've given them the Greek helmets. But yeah, a large portion of the population of Judea was Greek. Greek settlers who settled there. It was a Greek colony at one point. What?
Oh, nothing.
Yeah.
Read some comments.
So you've got the Greek influence on the Jewish army. So you've also got Greek type weapons as well. Plus anything they bought from the Celts or anyone else really. So yeah, pretty much it's a very mixed bag of an army, the Jewish Revolt army.
Yeah.
Whereas the Imperial Roman army, you need the Eastern Roman troops for the auxiliary. They're the best troops to use for it, if you're doing the Jewish Revolt. Although you can use the Eastern Legionaries pretty much anywhere, because the same troops were used in the Roman Civil War straight after. Because the Jewish Revolt started off, and then the Romans started their Civil War. And the commander of the Roman forces in the Jewish Revolt decided he became emperor and fought his way to Rome and became emperor. Then they finished the Jewish war. So the Romans were able to put down the Jewish revolt while fighting a civil war at the same time, which was quite impressive. Yeah, but you can do that if you're an empire. You have the manpower to do it. The Romans always have the men to do it. Next.
It's the same question, but it's the last thing we have.
Yeah.
Red John.
Yeah.
He says, how entertaining, keep up the good work.
Thank you. Well, we fully intend to. We're thoroughly enjoying this, and we are doing lots of stuff. As for Hail Caesar, we are doing the Dark Age stuff, which you may have seen. We're doing quite a few Dark Age battles now.
Yeah.
And our Dark Age army is going ever bigger. We have many years down the line, we're going to be able to expand that Dark Age army into other theatres. But for the time being, we're going to be just doing Vikings versus Saxons. Later on, we're going to be able to do Norman conquest and that sort of stuff. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. Yeah, that's going to be quite good. That's it. Is that everything?
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, we also need to update our Roman army. We need some more Roman legionaries.
Wasn't talking about triples.
Why?
That we might be doing a slideshow or something. Oh.
No, not really. You'll find out when we do it. Yeah. There's a gaming show coming up. We're going to be there. And we might do something there. We're not sure. So that's it. That's the end of everything.
And if you like this video, please do like and subscribe and comment down below, and we will answer them in the Q&A depending on which it is. And that's everything from me.
What do you mean which it is?
Which type of, if it's bolt action, if it's Hail Caesar,
Yeah, because
and if
people leave Hail Caesar comments on bolt action videos, which is
or
really
people
confusing.
leave bolt action comments on
Gates
Gates
of
and
Antares videos. They go on Gates of Antares and say, I loved your bolt action game. Or, why do Romans do this? It's the wrong genre, but, you know, I'm OCD, you know, so, you know.
No, you're not. You're OCD.
I am when it comes to people leaving the wrong question on the wrong video. But that's fine. It just means they're paying attention, that's all. Right, that's it. That's everything. Thank you very much for watching. This has been Vespasian on yet another Q&A. And my trusty sidekick.
Yeah, see ya.
Have fun.